for trimester 3. So problem number 1 is over here. We've got one-step equations. This is review from, right, correct. I wouldn't have called you up if it wasn't like very straightforward. Because I'm sure you shut your brain off for at least a week. Yep, perfect. Divide by -4. And then the answer was going to be -5.5. Perfect. Thomas, calling somebody from the middle section. Ellie? I think is what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, take it. And we will have a seating chart. I just didn't even remotely want to do that yet. We'll figure that out as we go. Okay, so problem number 2, what are you doing to both sides?
Divided by 8.
Nope. I think you mean it correct, but said it wrong. Opposite of +8.
Oh,
So -8 from both sides, yep.
why is it so big?
I don't know. Oh, I didn't tap the marker to change the size.
I don't know.
7. +7.
Oh,
Very low. Oh, that works.
how is it positive?
15 minus 8.
Oh, we're okay. Gotcha.
So we should definitely start off real slow is the feeling I'm getting.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. And I'm okay with that. I did the exact same thing. I did everything I could to shut my brain out from school for a week. I'm guessing you guys did the same. Okay, Ellie, you need to pick somebody who's ready for a challenge question. Let's go column 3. Oh, gotcha.
Just pick a number.
Sure.
2.
I mean, you guys call a number, but I just make it up anyway, and I just call somebody. So Abby, you're 2. I don't know if you want to come up here for this one or not. So this one says d times x equals 13. If we're trying to get rid of the d, how would we cancel it out? What would be the opposite of it? Division. So we would divide both sides by whatever number that stands for. No, that's perfect. So the answer would be 13 divided by d. Caleb, how did we approach all of those problems? How did we try to solve all of them? Okay, how did we, I mean, what you're saying is correct. How did we try to cancel things off to get x alone?
We did the opposite.
Perfect. You do the opposite of what's there to cancel it off. And that's what we've done all year. And we're going to be working our way up. So we did 2-step equations a couple months ago, I believe it was. Abby, you want to call somebody from column 1 way over there? Yeah. 5. Jackie. You're 5, I guess. Okay. How about a 2-step equation? So, do you remember what to do with those? Perfect. You start with the number that isn't on the x. So we're going to -3 to both sides. Perfect. Divide by -4 is the opposite of times by -4. .75. Who should we go with? Kate. Wait, can you see? Oh. Did you have glasses before? Oh, okay. I didn't wanna call on you in the back of the room if you couldn't see. Okay, what do we do on that last one? Okay, add 7 first. The answer isn't necessarily gonna make sense, but
Divide D.
divide by the D, yep. What would be the best way to say this? Should we do one of the next ones together? Do you need refreshing on that? Okay. We're basically just trying to do the opposite to get the X all by itself. Every single time. And the hardest part for most people is trying to figure out what order to do it. So you generally pick the item that is away from the X first, and then do the item that's on the X last. No, I can't remember. I was trying to remember the name off the top of my head with the stocking. What was it again? Tasha? Dasha. Okay. Dasha, do you remember what to do when we've got numbers and letters all over the place? Ekram, bail her out. What do we do when we have numbers and letters all over the place?
Try to get one side.
Yeah. Yep, you kind of choose which side you want to be the letters, which side you want to be the numbers, and move them around to be next to each other. So like on this first one, most people choose the left-hand side to be letters. And so you want to cancel off the letter on the right-hand side by subtracting it. Adding and subtracting is kind of how we move things around. So then this would say negative 3x plus 8 equals 15. And then we're going to move that 8 to the other side, and the way we move it is by subtracting it, by canceling it. Whenever you cancel it, that moves it around. And just about every answer on this page doesn't work out very good.
It's -2.3.
Oh. What you're saying is perfectly correct on the calculator. Does anybody remember how to solve these if you don't have a calculator?
Just gotta switch them.
No, I'm trying to think of a good way to phrase this question. Negative 2.3 repeating is correct if you do it on a calculator. Does anybody remember how to write the answer without a calculator? So if I didn't have a calculator, I would write the answer as negative 7/3. Like a fraction. So you can always write an answer as a fraction if you want. You guys are allowed to use calculators on everything, so I would never mark it wrong if you changed this to a decimal. I would definitely be okay with that. Don't forget this trimester, we are not gonna be using cheat sheets on the tests. So I will still be giving you a cheat sheet ahead of time to try to study from, like to prep yourself, but on the tests, you're not gonna get to use anything except for the calculator. Now, I already asked this question, but it's down at the bottom if you needed that reminder. We just do the opposites over and over to try to solve for things. This whole page was just a refresher on what we did up to this point when we were solving equations. If you kind of look at the rest of this packet, there's tons of different things. How should I say it? It's going to feel like it's all over the place, but we are going to be learning all the individual little things that you need to know about parabolas and quadratics. and then towards the end of the packet, we put it all together, and all of the different things we learned, we're going to use kind of all at once. But it's gonna feel like we jump all over the place. David, do you remember what quadratic means? No, that was a very fast answer. Moa? Quad means four. And that's correct. It actually is totally meaningless in terms of quadratics though. Do you guys remember the last packet we had when at the very first page was how to label things? Does anybody remember what quadratic was a label for? It seems like it should be a 4. It is very misleading because it has nothing to do with 4.
Oh, it's like 3 or more.
Quadratic means it's gonna be a squared. So the highest power is a 2 squared. So everything in this packet is about x squared things. So quadratic just means squared. And even if you look at the cover of the packet is what a drawing of a parabola looks like. Parabola is the name for that U shape. So this entire packet is about a U-shaped item. I think the one on the cover is upside down. Yeah, look at the cover. It's a picture. It's a picture of a parabola. So that's kind of what we're gonna be doing. This page really didn't have anything to do with this packet directly. This was just to refresh you because we figured you needed refreshing. Okay. We are gonna graph this one together first. Who's the last person that I called on? Ekram? Can you choose? No, David immediately passed it on. But that was fair because it was a tough question off the top of the head. Ekram, choose somebody. Daniela? Okay. So our goal here is to graph y equals x squared. We're gonna do that with a table. Do you remember how to fill out a table? We definitely have done it this year, but it's been a while. Let's pick the easiest number, 0. What do we do with that 0? Ooh. Well, I'll get a sip of my coffee, and you've got a bunch of people around you that you can get hints from. Do you remember now? Okay, good. Next to the number 0, we are going to put it in the equation that we were given. So x equals 0 means we're going to do 0 squared, which is still 0. Do you want to answer the next question, or do you want somebody else to answer? Okay. How do I put this on a graph? Okay, good. This is going to be the point 0, 0. Ooh, forgot. A lot of times over here, you guys will need this to see. So this is going to be the point 0, 0, which we graph right there. Good. Daniela, pick somebody here. She already went. Unless you want to go again. Was it Dasha? Dasha. You don't want to go again? Oh. Macy? I'll let you pick whichever number you want to do yourself. I know what I would pick, but I'll let you pick.
Then 1 is 1.
Okay, so 1 would be 1 squared, which is absolutely 1. And then where do I graph that? Would it be easier for you to draw it? Okay. Sometimes it can be harder to explain.
Here?
Perfect, 1-1. That's gonna be the point 1-1. Okay, Lamar. Ready, come on up. So I kind of set the stage for how we're gonna do this. Which number do you want to pick? 2, okay. So 2 squared is, yep, 4. 2 times 2 is 4. And then that would be 2 to the right, 4 up. Oh, backwards, yep. Perfect, perfect. 2 to the right, 4 up. Who should we go? Cece, are you gonna save us? How do we do the negative numbers squared on the calculator? Wait, oh my God, did I call you Cece? Nini. Sorry, Nini. How do we do negative numbers squared on the calculator? Nothing? Oh, have you tried? No. And you don't have one on you, it looks like? I don't know if I want to open up Desmos right now, just because it'll take us a little bit of time. I meant just to have everybody do it, yeah. Who's got a calculator on? Dasha. If you type in -2 squared, what do you get? Okay? And the problem is, most of you are gonna get that one wrong on accident. Oh, no, you typed it in fine. The issue is, this technically isn't right. It's been a while since we did this. Brody, do you remember why this is wrong? Why this will give you the wrong answer? Do you remember how to type it in correct, to get -2 squared? Did you remember it? Okay, does anybody remember what you have to do correct, Zach? Yeah, you have to put that in parentheses if you want the calculator to give you the right answer. And Desmos will do the same thing. If you don't put it in parentheses, Desmos will also give you the wrong answer. Because I know you guys you should know the answer without a calculator, like -2 times -2 should be +4. Like, you guys should kind of know the answer should be +4, but I know you get in the habit of just typing it on the calculator and like, you just trust the calculator with too much trust. And I get that, but that's how you have to type it in to get the right answer. So it is +4. -1 times -1 should be +1. So just kind of a warning, maybe this would be a good note to put in your packet. This would probably be a helpful hint or a note for you guys to write in the packet for yourselves, that anytime you do a negative number on the calculator, you really want to put it in parentheses, because otherwise your calculator reads it incorrectly a lot of the time. You might accidentally end up with the correct answer, but your calculator will read it wrong without the parentheses. And that goes for the normal calculators or Desmos. Both of them will give you the wrong answer. They need to be in parentheses. And since there's a couple new people in here, like you are 100% allowed to use Desmos or your own calculator on every homework, every test, so if you don't have your own calculator, Desmos is always an option. Okay, I forgot to graph these points up here. -1, 1, -2, 4. It makes a U shape. So, if you just look at the points, it does kind of look like a V. It's not a perfect line though. So like, if I were to go from here to that point, it wouldn't go over the other one. It does kind of look like a V though. If we would make a table with a lot of numbers, it would make a U shape. So pretty much everything in this whole packet is gonna be this shape, some form. So we have a little over 10 minutes left. What I was hoping you guys could do is fill out this table and graph this one. Now, do you want me to do one with you first?
Yes.
Sure. I will pick the easiest number because I want you guys to practice the harder ones. So I'm gonna pick 1. 0 might be easier, but I'll practice the 1 with you. This equation has more things. But on the calculator, I'm gonna do 1 squared, and I'm only writing a parentheses so that your negative numbers, you'll do that. I'm gonna do 1 squared plus 2 times 1 minus 5. And then each one of these other numbers, you're gonna put that number in the parentheses. So this one should be 1 plus 2, 3 minus 5, -2. So you should have 1 to the right, 2 down. And I'll let you guys try to fill out the rest of that table, and then we'll put it up on the board at the end of the hour to make sure, see if you did it right. For sure, for right now, if you guys don't have a calculator with you or your Chromebook's ready, use your phone today as the calculator, that's fine. The iPhone regular calculator can actually be kind of annoying and difficult to do a bunch of things with. As you'll know, it might be helpful to download a calculator, or you can download the Desmos app on your phone for free too.